Something is happening at Costco right now that most shoppers have no idea about. And I'm not talking about one or two items quietly slipping off the shelf. I am talking about 15 products, some of them things you probably buy every single month, that are either already gone, being phased out, or facing so much supply pressure that they may not survive 2026. I have been watching this for months, talking to people inside warehouses, checking Reddit threads, comparing prices week to week. And what I am seeing is not random. There is a pattern here. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Stay with me through this whole video because number 7 is the one that genuinely stopped me in my tracks. I have been buying this item for years. Years. And when I realized what was happening to it, I went back to Costco the next day and bought as much as I could carry. You will want to do the same. If you are new here, hit subscribe right now. This channel is for people who want to shop smart, protect their budget, and never get caught off guard by empty shelves or prices that have doubled overnight. We keep this community in the know before everyone else figures it out. Let us get into it. Product number 1. Kirkland Signature Semi-Sweet Chocolate Chips. Let us start with one that broke a lot of hearts and a lot of baking routines. Kirkland's own semi-sweet chocolate chips are gone. Not temporarily out of stock. Gone. Costco pulled them in 2024, and they have not come back. The reason, confirmed by a warehouse manager who spoke with shoppers on Reddit, is cocoa. Cocoa prices spiked nearly 200% compared to prior years, and maintaining a private label product at a competitive price simply became impossible. What makes this one hit hard is that Kirkland's chips were genuinely better than the name brands for a lot of bakers. Less sweet, more chocolate flavor, and they came in a size that made sense for anyone doing serious home baking or prepping. Now Costco only carries Nestlé, the 72-ounce bags, and Nestlé, as a brand, has its own cost pressures that are not going away anytime soon. I bought 4 bags of the Kirkland chips the season before they disappeared because I had seen the asterisk on the price tag. That little star Costco uses to signal a product is on its way out. I paid around $16 for the big bag. Comparable volume in Nestlé today runs significantly more per ounce at regular grocery chains outside of Costco. I saved real money and kept my pantry stocked for months. Chocolate chips sealed in an airtight container or Ziploc bag will keep at room temperature for up to 2 years. In the freezer, even longer. If you see Nestlé at Costco on sale, stock up. It is the only chip option left in that warehouse. Do not let your baking be held hostage by the next cocoa shortage. It is coming. Product number 2. Kirkland Signature Organic Soy Beverage. This one blindsided a lot of people who rely on dairy alternatives. Kirkland's organic soy beverage disappeared from refrigerator cases in early 2025. No announcement. No clearance sale. Just gone. One shopper emailed Costco directly and received a written reply saying the product was discontinued due to slow sales. That is one of the more honest explanations Costco has ever given for pulling an item. The pricing was extraordinary. A 12-pack of 32-ounce cartons was going for around $18. That worked out to roughly $1.54 per carton, a price that competing brands at regular grocery stores cannot come close to matching. I kept a case of this in my pantry rotation. When I went to restock and found empty shelves, I did a quick calculation. Replacing my monthly soy milk use at a standard grocery store costs me about 3 times what I was paying at Costco. 3 times. That adds up fast across a year. Shelf-stable soy milk cartons have a long pantry life, typically 12 to 18 months unopened. If you can find a warehouse club or online source offering bulk shelf-stable soy milk, now is the time to build that stock. The Costco version is not coming back. Some things you do not appreciate until they are gone. This was one of them. Product number 3. Kirkland Signature Sliced Roast Beef. This is one that members of the deli aisle noticed quietly slipping away before most people caught on. Kirkland's pre-sliced roast beef was a staple for families who go through deli meat fast. The Costco price per pound was dramatically lower than what you would find at a standard supermarket deli counter. When it started disappearing from warehouses through 2024 and into 2025, shoppers hit Reddit to compare notes. The consensus was clear. It was gone. Beef prices are the reason. Rising cattle costs have been hammering every link in the chain, from the rancher to the processor to the store. When Costco can no longer offer a price that feels like a genuine deal to its members, it pulls the product rather than charge what the market demands. That is actually a policy they are somewhat known for. And in this case, it worked against us. One Reddit member who found a similar product at a Costco business center noted the price difference was significant. And it was not the same product. For some families, switching to other stores' roast beef means paying 3 to 4 times what they paid at Costco per pound. If you are a household that eats a lot of deli-style roast beef, look at whole roast options you can slice yourself from warehouse clubs. With a good meat slicer at home, an investment that pays for itself in a few months, you can approximate what Costco used to offer at a fraction of the cost. Rising beef prices show no sign of cooling in 2026. Plan accordingly. Product number 4. Kirkland, signature country French bread. Simple bread. And somehow this one stung more than most people expected. The Kirkland country French bread, sold as a 2-pack in Costco's bakery section, was discontinued, and shoppers confirmed it by asking bakery staff directly. At around $6 for 2 loaves, this was genuinely one of the best bread values in any major retail environment. Clean ingredients, good texture. The kind of loaf that works for sandwiches, toasting, or just a slice with olive oil. According to people who spoke with Costco bakery employees, the reaction from members was not isolated. There was real disappointment expressed in person, in the store, not just on forums. That tells you something about how embedded this product was in people's routines. The replacement loaf that Costco introduced was considered by many shoppers to be a downgrade. Slightly different recipe, slightly different texture, and the value equation shifted. Bread does not store like canned goods, but you can freeze it. A whole loaf sealed in its original bag and then placed in a freezer Ziploc will hold for up to 3 months with very little quality loss. If you find a bakery bread at Costco you love right now, buy a second loaf and freeze it. Always. The lesson here is that even the simplest, most reliable items are not safe. That is worth remembering as we go through this list. Product number 5. Kirkland Signature Sport Drink. For anyone who has been buying Kirkland's sport drink to replace Gatorade in their household, this one is already over. The 24-count cases of Kirkland's sport drink were pulled from warehouses across the country in fall 2025. Costco employees confirmed the discontinuation to shoppers who asked. The bottles came in fruit punch, blue raspberry and orange, sweetened with cane sugar, which made them feel a bit more natural than the typical sports drink formula. A tasting table reviewer in 2024 described the product as essentially indistinguishable from Gatorade in a blind taste. That is what makes this one so frustrating. This was not a product that failed. It was well-liked and competitively priced. The cost pressures of producing a private label beverage at that volume and price point appear to have finally caught up with it. There is some speculation on forums that Costco might bring it back in a smaller bottle format. Shrinkflation in reverse, essentially, but nothing confirmed. As of now, it shows as out of stock on the website rather than fully removed, which is how some discontinued items look just before they vanish entirely. If you have a household that goes through a lot of sports drinks, the window to find alternatives at warehouse pricing is now. Stock what you can and store in a cool, dry place. Sealed plastic bottles like this last well beyond the printed date when stored properly. Do not wait until you are buying single bottles at a convenience store markup. Product number 6. Kirkland Signature Organic Peanut Butter. This is the one that confused people the most because Costco did not really discontinue it. They changed the vendor, and the result was something that barely resembles the original. The Kirkland Organic Creamy Peanut Butter, sold in a 2-pack of 28-ounce jars, built up a serious following. People loved the texture, the flavor, the clean ingredient list. when it disappeared and was quietly replaced by a different formulation under a different supplier, the reviews section on Costco's own website filled up with complaints. Customers described the replacement as overprocessed, with a strange texture, worse oil separation, and an off taste. One reviewer wrote that the Kirkland original was everything a good peanut butter should be, and begged for its return. That kind of customer reaction is not exaggeration. That is a pantry staple being yanked from a household routine with nothing adequate to replace it. Costco representatives have confirmed the original is listed as an active item, meaning it is not technically discontinued, but the vendor situation suggests it is unlikely to return in its original form anytime soon. Peanut butter stores exceptionally well. Unopened commercial jars last 12 to 24 months at room temperature. If you can find the original formula at another store or online, buy 6 jars. You will use every one of them. A good peanut butter is something your family notices when it changes. Stock what you love now, because this version is on borrowed time. Product number 7. Kirkland Signature Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. This is the one I want you to pay the most attention to. Olive oil is already expensive. Everyone knows that. But what is happening to olive oil supply globally right now is not temporary. And it puts Costco's 2-litre jug of Kirkland Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil at genuine risk of either being discontinued or hitting a price point that makes the Costco value disappear entirely. The underlying problem is the olive harvest. A severe heat wave in 2022 devastated olive yields across major producing regions in Europe. That damage echoes through the supply chain for years because olive trees take time to recover. On top of that, the olive fruit fly, a pest that can destroy crops, has found more favorable breeding conditions as climate patterns shift. Researchers have also raised concerns about declining solar activity affecting olive tree photosynthesis in the coming years. Right now, this 2-litre jug is selling for around $21 at Costco. That is an exceptional price for organic extra virgin at this volume. I bought 2 of them on my last trip. At that volume and quality, comparable organic options at a standard grocery store run significantly higher, sometimes double the per litre price. Olive oil is shelf-stable for up to 2 years when stored properly, dark, cool, away from heat sources. Do not store it near the stove. A pantry shelf or cabinet away from any light works well. Buy the full-size jug and keep a backup. If this item disappears, you will feel it every time you cook. This is a stock-up-now situation, not a wait-and-see situation. Product number 8. Kirkland Signature Organic Tomato Sauce. Right alongside the olive oil, this one is in real trouble. And the reason ties directly to what is happening to California agriculture. Kirkland's organic tomato sauce comes in a 12-pack of 15-ounce cans priced around $14. For anyone who cooks pasta, pizza, soups, or chili with any regularity, that price is outstanding. The California tomato processing industry, which is where Costco sources its tomatoes, is under enormous strain right now. Acreage planted with processing tomatoes is reportedly at a 50-year low due to rising operational costs and reduced demand from canners. That means fewer tomatoes, higher per unit costs for processors, and eventually higher prices, or no product at all, for the stores that depend on California as a source. I keep a case of this in my pantry at all times. Canned tomato products are one of the most practical long-term storage items in any household. They seal well, they stack well, and they are the base of hundreds of meals. A 12-pack takes up almost no space and lasts well past 2 years at room temperature. When I saw this potential supply pressure flagged in retail reporting, I bought 2 12-packs the same week. Total cost around $28. That same volume at a standard grocery store in organic canned sauce runs easily twice that amount or more. This is the kind of item where you do not realize how much you depend on it until you are suddenly paying twice the price at a different store with half the can size. Product number 9. Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Oil. The same supply pressure hitting olive oil is applying to coconut oil, and Costco's large format Kirkland version is sitting directly in that crossfire. The 84-ounce tub of Kirkland organic virgin coconut oil sells for around $26. It is unrefined, cold-pressed, and genuinely high quality. Coconut oil production is heavily dependent on weather patterns in tropical growing regions, and those patterns have been increasingly erratic. When production falls short, prices at the commodity level spike, and private label bulk products become difficult to maintain at their current price point. Costco has already shown with its chocolate chips that when ingredient costs rise dramatically, it pulls its own label rather than raise the price. Coconut oil faces a similar structural risk. I use coconut oil for cooking, baking, and in personal care products. The large tub lasts my household for months. When I looked at what a comparable, unrefined organic coconut oil costs at a health food store, the difference was significant, sometimes $10 to $15 more for less than half the volume. Coconut oil stores easily. It is solid at room temperature, does not require refrigeration, and keeps well for 2 years or longer. A second tub on a pantry shelf costs you nothing in effort and a lot in peace of mind. If this disappears from Costco, replacing it at anything close to this price will be nearly impossible through retail channels. Product number 10. Kirkland Signature. Pure maple syrup. Maple syrup is one of those pantry items that seems simple until you realize how fragile the supply chain behind it actually is. Kirkland's pure maple syrup is a genuine value product. It is real syrup, no additives, no corn syrup, no imitation flavoring. Just boiled maple sap from sugar maples. The production process is labor-intensive and weather-dependent. Maple trees require a very specific freeze-thaw cycle in late winter to produce sap at the right sugar concentration. When weather patterns disrupt that cycle, yields fall, and yield drops across the Canadian maple-producing regions, which supply the majority of North American pure maple syrup, can ripple through prices for an entire year. A retailer with the sourcing scale of Costco can absorb some of that pressure better than smaller competitors. But there is a ceiling. If pure maple syrup prices spike the way cocoa prices spiked, and there is a real historical precedent for that, Costco may find it cannot maintain the Kirkland label at a price that justifies it. I bought 2 large jugs on my last Costco run. Maple syrup in glass or sealed containers lasts virtually indefinitely at room temperature when unopened, and up to a year refrigerated once opened. This is one of the most storage-efficient items on this list. Buy it now, while the Kirkland price holds. Because if it shifts, and the signals suggest it might, you will be paying name-brand prices for something that used to be Costco's best-kept value secret. Product number 11. Kirkland Signature. Organic virgin coconut oil. Wait, did I already cover coconut oil? This is a different product, and the distinction matters. The one I mentioned earlier is the large tub format for culinary use. Costco also carries organic coconut oil in a different configuration aimed more at personal care and supplemental use, and that version has been appearing and disappearing from certain warehouse locations across different regions. Members in several states have noted that regional Costco stores have stopped restocking it entirely, even when the main culinary version remains available. This is how Costco operates before a full discontinuation. Regional fade-out. Some stores stop ordering, others continue. And then, quietly, it has just gone everywhere. If you rely on coconut oil for skin care, hair, or oil pulling, you know how quickly you go through even a large container. A backup supply is not overreaction. It is just good planning. Store in a cool, dark place away from heat or direct light. Shelf life at room temperature is 18 to 24 months for unopened containers of quality unrefined coconut oil. The cost difference between Costco's price and what you pay at a natural food market or beauty retailer is significant enough to make stocking up a genuine financial decision, not just a convenience. Product number 12. Kirkland Signature Flex Tech. Kitchen trash bags. Household basics rarely make these lists, but this one deserves your attention. Costco members who have been buying Kirkland FlexTech 13-gallon kitchen bags for years are now noticing something. Quality complaints are creeping in. Reviews on Costco's own website have noted changes in material thickness. The bags, which were historically praised for their stretch and tear resistance, are reportedly feeling less robust than they used to. This is the early warning signal for a product that is either being reformulated to cut costs, quietly shrinkflating in terms of bag count per box, or being set up for replacement by a competing brand. All three of those outcomes have happened to Kirkland products before. I bought a bulk case on my last visit because when the product is good, you buy it while it is good. If quality continues to decline, Costco will eventually face a choice: fix the formula or drop the label and carry a name brand instead. Trash bags store indefinitely. This is one of the easiest stock-up items on this entire list. Buy a couple of boxes and you will not have to think about this category for the rest of the year. When basics like this shift in quality, your monthly household costs quietly go up because you use more bags to get the same job done. That is the slow version of a price increase, and it is already happening. Product number 13. Kirkland Signature Organic Diced Tomatoes. A close cousin to the tomato sauce, and facing all the same supply chain risks, but worth flagging separately because the usage case is different. Diced tomatoes go into different recipes than sauce: soups, stews, shakshuka, chili, curry bases, rice dishes. If you cook with any regularity, you know a can of diced tomatoes is one of the most versatile things on a pantry shelf. Kirkland's organic diced tomatoes have been flagged by retail analysts and shoppers alike as facing pressure from the exact same California processing tomato shortage I described earlier. The acreage planted with processing tomatoes in California is at a 50-year low. That affects everything from ketchup to crushed tomatoes to diced varieties. The Costco value on this product is strong. Per can, it sits well below what organic diced tomatoes cost at a standard grocery store. Sometimes half the price when you factor in the bulk format. I bought 2 cases on my last stock-up trip and stacked them in my pantry. Canned goods at proper room temperature last 2 to 3 years easily. These will not go to waste. The moment this item develops an asterisk on the price tag, that little star that signals a Costco product is on its way out, it will be too late to stock up at the current price. Watch for that star. It is the signal. Product number 14. Kirkland Signature Paper Towels. This one is not a straight discontinuation. It is something quieter and more frustrating. A product getting worse while the price stays the same. Multiple Costco shoppers have flagged in 2025 reviews on the Costco website that Kirkland paper towels have declined in quality. Less absorbent, tears more easily. One reviewer noted they had both older and newer rolls in their home and could see the difference clearly. Another said a roll that used to last weeks was now gone in days. The packaging has also shifted. Individual wrapping on rolls has been quietly phased out in some markets. And a shopper on the Daily Dot flagged in January 2026 that Costco appears to be silently reducing roll size. The classic shrinkflation move where you pay the same price for measurably less product. None of this means Costco is about to discontinue paper towels. They are a core category. But when quality erodes like this, the question becomes, how long before members defect to Bounty or another brand? And what does Costco do at that point? Replace the formula? Drop the private label? Bring in a competitor brand? What I do now is buy Kirkland when I see good reviews still holding up, and I keep a 4-pack backup on hand at all times. Paper goods store forever, and the bulk savings at Costco still beat most alternatives. If quality continues to slide, this becomes a product that many long-time buyers will quietly stop repurchasing, and Costco knows what happens to sales when that pattern starts. Product number 15. Kirkland Signature Organic Red Grapefruit Cups. This is the sleeper on this list, the one that almost nobody is talking about. Kirkland's Organic Red Grapefruit Cups, individually sealed, convenient, ready-to-eat fruit cups were confirmed discontinued by Costco staff when a shopper asked directly at their warehouse. It was not announced. There was no clearance event. They just stopped appearing on shelves. For people who use these as a quick breakfast or healthy snack that does not require any prep, they were a genuine pantry shortcut. Convenient fruit at warehouse pricing. That combination is rare. The fruit cup category at Costco has been thinning. When a specific variety like red grapefruit disappears with no explanation and no replacement, it usually signals either a sourcing issue with the fruit variety, a supplier that changed terms, or simply Costco deciding the unit economics no longer work. If you are a fruit cup household, now is the time to evaluate which formats and brands you can source elsewhere in bulk. Amazon and wholesale food suppliers occasionally carry shelf-stable fruit cups in case quantities. It is worth identifying a backup before you find yourself paying full retail price per cup at a convenience store. This one is already gone, but it is a reminder that even the small items, the ones you throw in your cart without thinking, are not guaranteed to be there next month. Let me pull back for a second and tell you what I see here. This is not random. Every single item on this list is being affected by one or more of the same pressures. Commodity ingredient costs rising, agricultural supply chains under climate stress, shrinkflation quietly reducing value before a product disappears entirely, or Costco making the calculation that it can no longer offer a price good enough to justify its own label. That pattern is not slowing down. If anything, it is accelerating in 2026. What I want you to take from this video is not panic. I want you to take action. Smart, calm, measured action. Look at your pantry right now and identify the Costco products you depend on. Not everything, just the ones you would notice immediately if they were gone or doubled in price. Buy 1 or 2 extra units of those items on your next trip. That is it. That is the whole strategy. Because the people who notice too late are the ones standing in a different store, paying twice the price for half the product, wondering what happened. You now know what is happening. You are ahead of this. If this video gave you something useful, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this channel before they need it, not after. Subscribe so you do not miss what we cover next. There are more items under pressure that did not make this list, and I will be covering them as soon as the picture gets clearer. Thank you for being here, and for being the kind of shopper who pays attention. This community exists because people like you believe that information is protection. So keep sharing, keep watching, and keep your pantry stocked. I will see you in the next one.